Hello, I'm Cecilia Landa from the School of Design and Creative Arts at Loughborough University. I will introduce you to the workshop Co-Creating Complex Systems, an outcome-based method to design healthcare systems. During this presentation, you will meet the other conveners and the workshop aim. Also, I will introduce you to the outcome-based approach. And finally, I will show you the workshop agenda and the planned activities. I'm Cecilia Landa-Avila and I'm a PhD student in Healthcare System Design at Loughborough University. I'm interested in system thinking, participatory design, and human factors in healthcare. Rebecca Cain is Professor of Transdisciplinary Design in the School of Design and Creative Arts at Loughborough University. She is a DRS International Advisory Council member. Thomas John is a senior lecturer in socio-technical system design at the School of Design and Creative Arts at Loughborough University. His research interest is in integrating system thinking, design thinking, and resilience thinking into healthcare systems design. I want to mention the evolution of this research. This research started in 2017. In 2018, we had the first version of the approach, and we conducted some workshops at the DRS conference. Last year, we received feedback from healthcare providers and patients. We conduct one-to-one sessions and network analysis. And finally, during this year, we include values as part of the approach, and also we start to identify design implications. So, why do we need an outcome-based approach to design healthcare systems? In healthcare, a patient has multiple outcomes. However, there are other stakeholders with multiple outcomes as well. This is why outcomes in healthcare are really complex, and sometimes this can look like they are looking for different things or following different paths. So this means that right now we have different stakeholders with their own outcomes, and some of their actions really help to achieve the purpose, but others don't. So this approach proposes that we focus into define a clear purpose, creating a mutual understanding with the different stakeholders, and then spending more time about outcomes, how they interact, and how they can really contribute to achieve this purpose. Sometimes outcomes are described as the result of a visible effect that occurs after some explicit action. However, this doesn't reflect complex systems principles which mention that outcomes emerge from multiple interactions and don't behave in a linear way. We recognize that emergence is a critical aspect that can be explored by understanding multiple outcomes interactions. Also, we emphasize that a holistic perspective needs to include meaningful human aspects and don't be limited by the convenience of the evaluation. So briefly, I want to mention some frameworks that have influenced this approach: cognitive work analysis, systems engineering initiative for patient safety, and others such as quadruple aims, patient priority cares, and systemic design. All of them acknowledge that there are multiple outcomes interacting in systems. CWA, for example, create a file-level structure in which links outcome with other elements. Also, it's key to point that CWA established that outcomes and value are in the same level. SIPs, for example, as well categorize outcomes based on stakeholder goals. It is critical how outcomes in SIPs generate feedback loops to adapt the system. Finally, systemic design has helped us with a lot of participatory methods for gathering and visualizing complex data. The aim of this workshop is to explore how this outcome-based approach can contribute to co-create healthcare systems. In order to achieve these aims, participants will frame healthcare systems holistically by interacting with system visualization. Also, we will revise and discuss outcomes and values that are part of healthcare systems. And finally, we will identify design strategies. This workshop will have a mix of theme discussions, systems visualization analysis, and plenary sessions. There are 4 parts of this workshop. The first one is to introduce the outcome-based approach. Actually, this presentation is part of this step. Then, we will understand system maps. We will identify design strategies together, and we will debrief all the learnings from this workshop. This table shows in detail all the planned activities of this workshop. You can have access to this table through the DRS website. Finally, I want to show you some examples and materials that we will use during the workshop. This is a system visualization that emerged from previous workshops, and this is another one from one-to-one sessions. Then, we will use the network analysis diagrams that emerged from previous studies. Also, we will present other materials that we have used as part of the development of this approach. For example, outcome cards that shows the description of outcomes and tools, outcome tokens that we have used during mapping sessions, people and places representation also used during mapping sessions, and value cards. Thank you for your interest. I hope you enjoyed this workshop. In case you have any question, you have my contact details on the screen.